Hey, I'm chilling with Bryan, who is a game designer at THQ. B, what's happening?
What's up, Constant? How you doing, man? It's good to meet you.
Check it out, man. I'm stoked. As I was telling you earlier, I'm somewhat new to the franchise, and I was listening to you at the presentation in awe. So I'm going to need you to break down them custom finishing moves like you did for my folks out here.
It'd be my pleasure, brother.
Right.
So yes, creative finisher. You're new to the game. It's been in our game now for 3 years. So essentially what the mode is it's like its name implies, it's creative finisher. You can come into this mode and we have just a crap load of animations. And you're basically just taking animations and piecing them together, creating a move that's, completely your own.
I'm sure you remember the face. We chilled at E3 together, and now we're here. Cory, what's good with you, man?
How you doing, man? Good to see you.
I'm happy, man, and obviously since E3, the game has come a long way, bro.
Thank you. We appreciate that. We're working hard on it. Even the stuff you saw today, it's not done yet. We're still in our testing phase. We're still cleaning some stuff up, but it's polished, man. We're really happy with how it's turning out.
Is there one mode that you sit back and just be like, you know what? This mode, that now that we've changed that or added that, this is what's going to make everybody flock to the stores?
It's really the universe mode that we've been talking about. I mean, that's a brand new experience. Road to WrestleMania is the story. We've done that. But the universe just creates this dynamic WWE world around you for you to enjoy. And what's so cool is that the game adapts to how you play. So the game notices, hey, you play with these certain superstars quite a bit. It'll set up a feud between those two guys. And that feud will now play out in stories that happen dynamically in exhibition mode. So maybe you're playing with Randy Orton, John Cena, and you're constantly using them, and it creates that feud. Next time you play with Randy Orton, he might get jumped on his entrance by John Cena. Maybe next time you play with him, John Cena will come out during the match and interfere and take Orton out with a chair. You just don't know what happens, but the beauty behind it's all based on how you play.
Cam, we just looked at our game, because you mentioned career mode aspects, which is true. We got that in there. But like in previous, we have so many different elements in our exhibition game, from title matches to the allies and enemies, and all these different things. And we say, you know what, we have all these different, disparate elements. Let's just bring them all together under one roof so that you can play a match and you can have ramifications as a result of that match. It's basically, and the best way to sum it up is that it's an exhibition with storytelling elements thrown in. Of course, you'll still be able to just pop in the game and do your one-off match and have it not affect anything. But with the universe, again, it's going back to just the unpredictability and you just never know what's going to happen. And whether you lose or you win actually has ramifications on your next match. So it just creates a very kind of organic and natural just playing experience that will just keep, the game will just, react to what you're doing, whether you're losing, whether you're winning, whether you keep beating down the same guy, that guy's going to take notice and he's going to start, coming in and try to mess you up, so it just, things will behave much more realistic and it'll just, mirror what, so many fans at home watch, when they're looking at Raw or looking at Smackdown. It's like, oh, I just experienced that in Smackdown versus Raw,
Road to WrestleMania. First off, incredible, but y'all went over the top and added some stuff. Tell me about some new things inside Road to WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's a popular story mode we had in the game for the last couple of years, but we just felt like it wasn't really representative of what the WWE is all about. We had this experience that was, you load, and then you go to a cutscene, and then you load, you go to a match, and you load, you go to a menu. That's not the WWE. That's not fun, man. So what we wanted to do is we added this backstage free roam environment. It really immerses you into the story. You can now walk around and interact with the superstars backstage. What's really cool is that it's not all about you either. You can walk up to two superstars talking about their match that night, and you can just overhear and listen. You can choose to join in if you want or not. And sometimes it's the story being progressed through guys walking up to you and talking to you, and you deciding branching the storyline. What do you want to do? Do you want to hit the guy and start a feud, a backstage brawl? Do you want to just walk away and let your actions speak in the ring? So it really just gives you this whole new experience that really immerses you into the story deeper. And really, the fans have been asking for it since Smackdown Here Comes the Pain. They have this free roam environment to really have you get deeper into the story and make it feel like you're part of this WWE living world. And so we're happy to provide that this year.
The unlockable time machine. Great call, guys. How'd that come about?
Yeah, the time machine. We really had this idea that we wanted players to be able to go back and revisit those cutscenes that they loved, those cool moments. Also, with the branching, like you mentioned, sometimes you choose to go down one path, and you don't know what was down the other road. And you're like, wow, what happens if I made this other decision? And we don't want you to have to play through the whole story again. That's a little lame. So we offer this time machine. It's straight out of Bill and Ted's, it looks like. And you can hop in there. You can choose what moments you want to go back and relive. You go back to those moments that you had a branch and decide, what would happen if I went down this other path, and how would it all play out? So that's a pretty cool new feature.
Is there anything else that you think that they got to stand up and take notice to?
Oh, definitely. Our, we've added dynamic physics to the game for the very first time. Smackdown versus Raw, it's been around for a long time. So, one thing that has eluded our franchise is just a little that realism that you see when you watch, a pay-per-view, how objects and tables and chairs, which are, you're familiar with wrestling. It's not wrestling without chairs and tables and ladders and all kinds of wacky foreign objects and whatnot. So we've added the dynamic physics in the game this year. So now when you're wrestling, the superstars will react realistically to, collisions with any object. Whether you suplex somebody against a ladder and you'll see them impact the ladder will fall down on them. Or you might want to, hoist somebody up and drop them, face first onto a table. And seeing those spectacular table crashes and moments, that kind of, it's very improvisational and very chaotic. A much more free-form wrestling experience than we've had in our games up until this point.